something. One good thing is they also try it on the production system in the system. So nowadays I think if we want to do something about reinforcement learning, say about startup, maybe we need to hurry up. People say those big companies they are already doing something there.
Is DD using reinforcement learning?
Yeah, they have a kind of. I know 2 or 3 people from that group. There's a group. I don't know, maybe 20 or something. Reinforcement learning, focus on reinforcement learning, and this is one paper. Actually, there's another paper. So yeah, I got to know them actually last year. 2017 they started, at least at that time, about reinforcement learning. Yeah.
Have you read the AI Superpowers by Kai-Fu Lee?
Oh yeah, kind of, yeah.
But he didn't mention that DD is using reinforcement learning.
Okay, you're reading too careful. I don't know. But yeah, there are papers, many papers already, almost 10 papers. Actually, this year, AAA, they gave a tutorial about transportation by those people. I know that, for example, if you check Jie or maybe, if you go to the AAA, there's a tutorial about this. Hopefully I'll put it into the summary. But I know that Ziwei Qin, if you check its homepage, you'll see a AAA tutorial. And they have, this paper is from the KDD in August. And we joined them to the workshop. They have another paper. I think this one, yeah. This is another paper collaborated with them. This also building a model, and this one considering something called counterfactual, so causality, yeah, some fancy term. So they consider some hidden factors, but they are also collaborate some Nanjing University people from Nanjing University collaborate with DD, working on those red herring problems. They built a model and they test it on the real system. So this is also a KDD paper in Anchorage in August. Yeah, these 2 papers from DD, they tested on real system.
So, excuse me?
Yeah.
Can you go back? What is lambda?
Oh, that's too detailed. Lambda usually is, where's lambda?
Upper right.
Right beside DD.
Okay.
The logo.
Oh, lambda. Oh, okay. That's the there's a very good machine learning. It's as good as Amy in China in Nanjing University. Yeah, that's the lab of the. Sorry, I thought you are asking about this lab. Too many lambdas. Yeah, it's a lab in Nanjing University. The head is Zhihua Zhou. Actually, he once came here about 10 years ago.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
Something that's not being clear to me here is how does one evaluate performance of these models, or how do you compare models, or?
Oh, I think that's a good question. I think roughly, there are some performance measures. For example, for the contextual bounding problem, there are click rate.
Yeah.
And you click rate before people using contextual bounded, people using some super learning approach, also using click rate. So we can comparing the click rate using 2 systems. A popular approach is using something called A/B testing.
Yeah.
2 techniques running together on randomly selecting people and assuming they are similar. So that's one way. But we may also use CG learning to do that. Maybe do another A/B testing. But yeah, maybe ABC testing. But yeah, there's no ABC testing. But actually, continuous bounded is. Actually, I didn't put it. David Silver said that. Oh, I shouldn't say. Maybe that's okay. David Silver said that A/B testing is not good. People should use contextual bounded. A/B testing, he said, is a bad IR. Okay. Another UIT poster is about contextual bounded bake-off. I think this is if you want to use contextual bounded, I think this is interesting paper. They are comparing many papers and study their theoretical results and also study their practical implementations. So, yeah, I mentioned several contextual bounded problems papers. This is another theoretical paper. It's about old policy learning. So we mentioned old policy, and this is a very new work. So yeah. So why old policy learning? Maybe I say a little bit. For example, if you want to do say healthcare or education, for games, computer games, you can you can ask the simulator to run many times. But for healthcare or education, you cannot ask this patient to go through many different treatment. So we need to study the performance of this algorithm on this set of data. So we usually cannot change the data or collect, or it's hard to collect more data. And usually, these policies underlying those data are different from the policy we want to study. So this is called old policy. So we need some old policy techniques, and this is one paper. This is pretty good because one author is the co-organizer, so we didn't vote this for the batch paper. Yeah, I just did some the application papers in this workshop. I don't think I will try to just mention the topics. So for example, you can see air traffic controller. These are the recommendations. You can see retail of perishable products. You can see okay. This is a classical OR problem, multi-product inventory system. People working on maintenance of civil infrastructure. Because there's a diversity of these topics. There are more to come. So there are papers about computer systems. Some panelists mentioned that computer systems or system optimization. So people working on say compilation, people working on programming, try to make machine learning program, make this machine learning component natural component of this programming language. Yeah, hopefully I say that clearly. And then people working on congestion control, people working on the content refreshing. When you want to say some website, maybe dynamic, you need to get the newest information, so need to some schedule of refresh its content. So they try to use refinement to optimize this kind of policy. And video adaptation, and there's something called software system, a modular, how to design those modulars. There are people working on autonomous driving, and also people working on robotics and manufacture. Not finished yet. There are more papers on say healthcare. There are several papers about healthcare problems. I think that should be pretty interesting. And people working on energy, we don't know the data center cooling, and there's a paper about power allocation for the satellite. That's maybe something interesting. And also people working on chemistry, just now mentioned. Okay. Basically, I finished the content of the workshop. And next step. This is a paper I mentioned. It's seamless self-promotion. There are lots of things in this overview paper. The last update was last year October, and you can find that paper from here. Hopefully, I will update it sometime. Hopefully, in 1 or 2 months. I don't know yet. It's there are too many things in that. I call them 6 core elements, 6 important mechanisms, and 12 applications. Too many things. In this workshop, kind of curious, kind of interesting. We don't have paper about finance. We don't have paper about education, but the other 10 applications we have. So I think that's a very good start. Next year probably we'll have another workshop. So hopefully there will be more, more applications, especially in production systems. This is message. He's a professor, very famous professor, and he was not in the workshop, but later last year he gave some talk, and I picked some messages from his slides. basically he's very positive, but with some cautions. But if I use it, you can type it. He has a new book about refining and optimal control, so you may type his website to find it. Okay, some discussions. I promise I will discuss something and make some predictions. So the workshop is, I think that was very successful. The first time, about close to 600 people and many posters, very good posters, also very good many talks. And basically we achieve our goal to, how experts share their successful stories and identify some research sub areas. And some application areas, what are missing? This basically from those. Basically, I think I should say that basically I agree with them. So I copy from them. But my personal opinion is contextual bounded. This is a mature technique. If you have not used it, maybe this can bring you revenue using contextual bounded. And if you have some good business model for games, some games like single agent or two-player games, you can probably make lots of money since these are pretty mature. Refollowing can build very good game strategies. And I have a prediction that next year there will be more and more recommendation papers. You can see this year there are, say, people from Google, people from DB, people from Ant Financial, and maybe also from Amazon, from say Netflix. Next year there will be more and more paper about recommendation. And say system optimization, there are more people interested in this, and that's say for computer science. This many things about how to optimize something, say compiler, say networking, say even circuit design. There are so many things, and and also for operations research. This is a very classical area, but many problems are so. I think they are so great for resolving and robotics healthcare. Yes. Actually, my personal opinion, I'm not positive about robotics or healthcare. That's probably very hard. It's very interesting I should say this way. I don't think these are very good for startups, but probably they are, especially for short term, but they are probably very good for research or academia. But to make money soon, it's probably very hard for robotics or healthcare. But those things, especially the first two, contextual bounded and say single or two-player games, if some problem can be modeled as those things, then there should be good chance to make some money. And what are concerns? We are say positive about those things. And what are concerns? There are many issues. So many issues in other non-periodic research or something. So that's why we say we need to have a good foundation of refining. We need to solve those issues or have a pretty good understanding of these issues, and that's good. It's good that those people they give some advices about some things. We can refer to those, and there are also other say papers or books about those things, and there are some. For me, my understanding is to do refining, especially for some large project. We need some necessary resources, our talents, PhDs, say, from Alberta, say, completion. I think that's one thing. I think that's one big issue for universities. Universities don't have many GPUs, and that will. I think that's a constraint. And if we have, say, data model simulator, then that's also an important resource for refining to be successful. And last but not least, money. We need money to do those things. This should be the last slide, and it's basically on time. We have 3 minutes. So the outlook, it's kind of outlook, but it's pretty general. So I want to say that refining is probably helpful if a problem can be regarded or transformed to a sequential decision problem, and state action reward can be constructed. So if we have this kind of problem formulation, then we have chance to use R to make this thing helpful. And especially if we have perfect model or pretty good simulator or big data. If we have those conditions, then this problem, we may make it successful, and we may even build a startup based on this. And yeah, the second bullet is pretty general. I want to say that R may help to automate and optimize manually designed strategies. There are several interesting applications. This is very general. So some manually designed strategies. Yeah, there are actually quite many applications. What I just want to say one thing is, some people, there are something we want to do comparison, right? Comparison, and many people spend lots of research fundings to fund that kind of comparison algorithms. And recently, there are people, maybe it's in that overview paper, but I cannot remember it on top of my head. But people have used deep learning to improve that comparison algorithm. They just automate this algorithm. It's kind of system optimization. So manually designed many strategies can be automated by deep learning. So my last sentence is the time for deep learning is coming, and lots of opportunities, but there are some challenges. Thank you.